I love survival horror games. Silent Hill is my favorite survival horror series to date. But I do like other horror games like Resident Evil, A Total Darkness, and of course Dead Space. While visiting my cousin's apartment for a whole day playing games, he let me borrow Fatal Frame for the PlayStation 2. Fatal Frame, titled Zero in Japan and Project Zero in Europe, was first released in 2001 in Japan for the PlayStation 2. Then it was released in 2002 for both Europe and North America. Later that same year, an original Xbox version was released in North America, and in 2003 in Europe and Japan. The game was highly successful, and it spawned many sequels. However, unlike the sequels, the game is supposed to be based on a true story. It said so on the cover. Set in 1986, you play as the siblings Meifuyu and Mika Hazaki, whom they have the ability to see supernatural events. Meifuyu's tutor and the rest of the group were killed by the ghosts of the mansion. Meifuyu suddenly disappears without a trace while finding his supposed alive tutor. Mika is the character you play as for the majority of the time. Your job is to find Meifuyu and the history behind this creepy ghost-filled mansion. The gameplay is like your traditional survival horror game where there's constant camera angles to make you feel like you're being watched. The only source of the weapon you have is a camera obscura that the characters carry with. Taking pictures are the ghost's greatest weakness. And speaking of ghosts, they're the biggest enemies you face while exploring the mansion. There's a charge meter on the camera that will cause greater damage. The more you charge, the better. Now it may sound strange that a camera is your only source of combat, but it works for a game like this. It isn't called Fatal Frame for nothing. There is some puzzle solving, which makes the progression a bit longer depending on how well you figure them out. You do pick up a lot of items like film for the camera and herbs for health just in case the combat was a bit complicated. Gameplay is by far my favorite part of the whole game. The graphics for the time looked gorgeous, and bear in mind this was early 2000s. Oh, who am I kidding, the graphics still look good to this day. I love the creepy, unsettling atmosphere that this game offers. You just never know what may come in every corner. I do have a complaint though. Why is the English voice acting bland?
I captured a ghost with this camera.
If only the PS2 version had a choice of Japanese voice acting, that would be superb. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I've always hated when a game that was created in Japan doesn't have the Japanese voices. It's not the only game that did that kind of stunt. Well, at least in the North American versions. Overall, Fatal Frame is a brilliant and clever survival horror game that makes guns weak compared to a badass camera. If you're a hardcore survival horror fan, play it.